Hello, everyone. We are in Veronica After Hours. No, I'm joking, but we are in a bit of a different setup today, and we are going to be talking about different ways you can earn crypto apart from trading. So let's get right in. I will tell you the comparison of what is mining, what is staking, of USDT staking, stablecoin staking versus cryptocurrency coin staking. So let's say ETH staking. And then I will compare the risks of the two and which one would be better for you depending on your initial starting budget and also how long you are planning to invest for. Because that's, I found had some surprising results, to be honest, while doing some research for this video. Let's start with mining. So, mining is a process of verifying blocks and appending those blocks to the blockchain. And this is done by solving a complex mathematical equation. And the more computer power you have, the faster you can solve that hard math equation. And if you are the first one to solve that equation, you get to be the miner among many miners who is getting the reward for that block. So the miners who are appending the block to the blockchain get the block reward and also the gas fees that the users pay in that block. So there are transaction fees and block reward. Every miner gets enough to cover the costs of the mining hardware and electricity that they are spending and securing the blockchain. The more miners they are, the higher the competition, and the higher the competition, the harder it is to mine each block, and therefore you might need more computing power to earn the same amount of money. You can see the general trend over here that the higher is the overall computing power, the higher is the chance that you are going to be the first one to solve the block. So the reward it doesn't scale linearly. It scales quite a bit if your hardware is much more powerful. So mining is more suitable for those with higher resources and higher computational power and higher budgets to allocate. And what's also important is that mining only becomes profitable after you buy and get the return on your investment to the hardware that you bought. Let's calculate the example for an ASIC. ASIC is a specialized machine to mine Bitcoin. And to calculate mining costs for that, you'll need the hardware cost, you'll need electricity costs, and maintenance costs. So let's assume you added you decided to buy. I just looked it up, and the one I found is Antminer S19 XP, and those machines are quite new. They are from July 2022, and as I researched, as I said, they are quite popular, and the price of them ranges. Some of them are from $4,000 to $6,000, and we can take the average of $5,000. Let's say if you buy 10, therefore you'll be 50 to 55K for the 10 machines. And what you need to do next is you need to find out how much electricity it consumes, right? Because electricity is a huge part of yearly costs for mining. So each machine, like the ASIC that I said, like Antminer S19 XP, is consuming 3010 watts. So with this, what you can do, you multiply it by the number of hours that you are going to be running that machine for. So I multiply it by the number of hours in a year. Number of hours in a year is 8,760 and divided by 1,000 to get the kilowatts instead of watts because we use kilowatts usually. Where the caveat comes in, you can have electricity for free in a way because let's say you installed solar panels a long time ago and you already got the return on your solar panels and it is already free for you to basically run a full miner. However, I understand that is quite a rare case scenario. The costs for electricity are rather high, so the higher the electricity cost, the longer it's going to take to get a return on your investment. Let's take $0.05, that is 5 cents per kilowatt hour. The maintenance costs are, of course, very, very much, and most we can approximate them to about 5% of the cost of the machine per year. So if you paid 5K for one machine, this is going to be $250 per year to maintain it. But that might be different, of course. You might pay 0 or it might break, but usually that's approximated to 5. The more people mining Bitcoin, the higher is the difficulty to mine each block. And the higher difficulty means that it takes you longer to get the same amount of Bitcoin. And well, you just have to roll with it because I'm calculating right now for the current difficulty that Bitcoin has and for the price of 28K per Bitcoin pool fee. So speaking of pools, I know that that can be quite a controversial topic when speaking about decentralization and pools, because pools are just almost centralized entities when you have just a couple of pools to competing with each other. Where is this all decentralization? However, that's a topic for another day and for another video. But let's say the pool fee is about 1%. Bottom line, if you have one ASIC, you spend 5K to buy it, then you pay 1,300 for electricity and 250 for maintenance. So in the first year, you spend $6,550 for the hardware and all the maintenance costs. And every following year afterwards, you are paying only for electricity and for maintenance, and we can approximate it to about $1,550 per year. So that might sound like a lot. However, if you calculate how much revenue you're getting, you're actually starting to be profitable about after 2.5 years. That is keeping in mind Bitcoin at 28K. And we know that 28K Bitcoin is not, well, it's a number. It's of course it can be higher, it can be lower, and we never know what price it's going to be when you would like to cash out, let's say, because you are earning Bitcoin, you're not earning USDT, you're not earning USD, you are earning Bitcoin, and the volatility of that stays with that. So how much Bitcoin and when you want to cash out ultimately makes or breaks your profit. There are many calculators available that you can try out and play around with depending on the hardware you choose, the wattage per hour. You can see how much profit per year you're going to make. For example, there's CryptoCompare, a random website that I found. You input the hashing power that you have, and then the machine that I chose is quite high, and because that is an optimized computer for Bitcoin, that is not exactly like optimization for the cryptocurrency, so to say. It is a optimization of a machine for the hashing algorithm, and the hashing algorithm that Bitcoin uses is SHA-256, and there are there are quite a few proof of work cryptocurrencies that are using the same hashing algorithm. And if you are not ready to commit for that amount of time, and if you don't have that much money that would be needed to buy one ASIC to mine Bitcoin, you might look into staking. Staking can be of two different ways. Either stable coin staking, which is more stable as you can realize, or crypto coin staking, such as Ethereum. So what is staking? Staking is locking up an X number of coins in your wallet. You will not be able to use it unless it's liquid staking. And then you are waiting a certain specified period. You get the rate per year for your staking rewards. So it's basically you can compound it. It's often preferable to have a compound interest. So whatever you earn from your investment, you are reinvesting back, and you are therefore earning more in the very end. And staking requires some resources. However, it is not as computationally heavy, and you don't have to have any hardware to start staking. However, in some cases you should, but in most people's cases, you are probably going to choose a pool to staking, or you're choosing to delegate your coins instead, and that does not require as much technical knowledge or as much any hardware knowledge as mining does. So that's the main perk of staking over mining. The concept why you have staking is the same as why you have mining, is to verify blocks. However, instead of solving the computationally heavy puzzles, you are just holding the money, and you get a chance to verify the block. The more money you have, the higher is the likelihood that you will be chosen. And let's compare staking with USDT or staking with crypto coins, which are not stable. So of course, number one is stability. USDT or any kind of other stable coin is pegged to US dollars, so it's much more stable relatively. However, I have to make a big note out here. If you haven't heard of USDC some time ago, we all know and perfectly remember Luna and what was happening. And there have been many examples when stable coins were not so stable, so to say. And it should be always with an asterisk when we are saying that USDT or any kind of stable coin is more stable. And USDT, that's what I keep using as an example of a stable coin. It has a large liquidity pool, and it is much easier if you just want to just quickly exchange it back to USD. That is very easy to do. However, sometimes if you are staking some lesser known cryptocurrency, and that is a proof of stake, some novel cryptocurrency, yes, that's cool. That's high risk, high reward, but be careful with liquidity because you might not be able to, let's say, transfer it back to fiat currency the moment you might need it. And then difference number 4 to discuss between the stable coin and non-stable coin staking is the not stability, but technical requirements. So USDT is usually even less technical than cryptocurrency staking. However, if you're staking in a pool, I don't think there is much difference. Honestly, it's all quite straightforward, both of them. Then what you are choosing depends on the amount of money you have and your risk tolerance based on your strategy. So if we go into ETH staking, we can go into stakingrewards.com, earn Ethereum 2.0. I have to say that if you're choosing to be validator as a service, that's quite a decentralized way. However, you'll have to stake at least 32 ETH. So the other option that you can stake ETH in any kind of staking pool. And for example, Lido Finance is a very popular big staking pool for Ethereum. APR on Ethereum is 5.6%. That is much less than mining. However, the benefit here is that you are keeping your money. If you choose a good rate and a good day to exchange the tokens backwards into fiat money that you bought them with, then you might not lose anything. You might have your initial investment plus the return that you earned. And if you want even less risk and you don't want to think about the different kind of cryptocurrency you raise and you just want to be able to get it back in the same amount that you invested in, you can choose stablecoin staking. The main concern here is that it might not even cover inflation. Because inflation right now, I'm not even going to talk about what the percentage for inflation is this year. However, 4% really is not going to cover that. So let's say we are going for 1 year and we have one ASIC and we are going with 5 or comparing that to 5K staking. In 1 year, you're not making any profit from having one ASIC because that's going to be minus 3K. 5K in ETH staking pool, that's going to be $280 and $230 if you're going without a pool. And if you are staking USDT, it's going to be $180. So if we are staying with the same amount of money, but we are going with 3 years, so that the scenery might be quite a bit different. If you're going for an ASIC, it's going to be almost $800. Then for staking pool, it's going to be $890 for a year or $720. And from staking USDT, that's going to be $550. If we increase the number of ASICs to 10, for example, or the initial investment for 50K instead. And if we go into 5 years, and with this one, it's a huge asterisk here because I'm pretty sure the price of Bitcoin in 5 years is not going to be the same, just like the price of ETH. So even though I'm trying to give you a more realistic, more tangible picture by giving you dollars instead of ETH and Bitcoin, keep in mind that after 5 years, if you have 10 ASICs, or if you invest 50K, then 46K point half. Let's say you decided to stop mining, or you decided to stop staking. If you decided to stop staking, that's quite easy. That's the easiest with USDT. You can just depend on the price of ETH, how much ETH you can get back if you spend 50K to buy it initially. And it will largely depend on how many other ASICs are otherwise on the market apart from you. If you're just quitting at the time when many miners are quitting, then there are many ASICs on the market and you're likely not going to sell it for a big price. However, if you're selling a good machine, you're going to sell it for good money. The general trend is there. If you have a very large sum of money and about 3 years at least, then you should start mining to be more profitable. However, if you don't know whether you are going to be in crypto in 3 years, whether you are not sure whether you want to commit for so long, and if you don't have X amount of money for some good hardware, then I would really recommend staking to you. If you're very risk intolerant, then you start with USDT staking. That is only 4%. That will probably not even cover inflation. However, it will cover inflation in good years. But I mean, seemingly we haven't had good years in some time. But you can then go on and start staking some larger cryptocurrencies, such as Ethereum. And if you go even higher risk and even higher return, you can go and stake something. I don't even know, because there are so many proof of stake cryptocurrencies that are just copycats. And in some of them, it's probably quite profitable to stake them for some time, but again, it's very risky. And I personally am quite risk intolerant because I am too anxious to be going high risk. However, if that's something for you, that's what you want to do, then sure, all power to you. High risk, high return. However, very high risk of losing all your money as well. Another risk with staking that I haven't mentioned before is slashing. With mining, you cannot really slash. If you're messing up with mining, you're just not earning the block reward and that's it. You cannot lose the money that you put into the hardware. However, if you're misbehaving as a proof of stake staker, then you can get slashed. That means you're losing all the money that you earned and all the money that you, put initially. When you compare that with banks, if you put 50K in a bank, or if you have more than 100K euros, for example, in the Netherlands, if you have too much money on your bank account, they're going to start taking money from you instead of compounding more money to you. So they're really, you can see it all in comparison only. So let's go in total. When deciding to mine or to stake, it's important to consider, first of all, where you live and the cost of electricity, because electricity at the very end determines how profitable you are as a miner. That is also incentivizing the use of renewable energy, in my opinion, because that's so much cheaper. If you're just setting up solar panels, yes, you are spending again on your hardware, but it's going to last you a very long time. And in the very end, it's going to be more profitable, because electricity costs nothing. Imagine. Also, the longer you invest for staking, you'll have compound interest. And if you would like to reinvest and do the compound interest, that might be much better and much more profitable. I am saying too many words. I hope you understand this at least a little bit. And if not, just let me know. Any questions in the comments. That's it. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.